Yay! First video of 2014, I think. Oh well, either way, it's the first review of 2014. And what better engine to do it on the beautiful Pug. That's my starting off. Anyway, so there's no box for this Loco, as I got it second hand at Worley, the NEC model fair that was, or exhibition, should I say, that was massive. Like I said in a review, like I said in a video earlier, I got this and the J52, is it, or the J13 for Christmas, but I picked them out at Worley, whatever you want to call it, and they were pretty cheap. And this one doesn't run as well, but it's we'll let it off. So this one doesn't run as well, but the J13 is a very good runner, and both of them are very cheap prices. I think this was £23 and the J13 was £27, I believe. But just an overall glance, for a second-hand engine, it's in really good detail. It's in really good nick. See, everything's shiny on it. The reason that the emblem's all mucked up is actually my fault. I was trying to get it off with thinners and realised that I was actually getting the paint around the emblem off and not actually the emblem. So I'm going to need to paint over that, and I'll explain why later. So anyway, the history of the Pug. For those of you who don't know, Pug is... Damn phone. If you heard that. Pug is the widely used name for ugly engines. Many called industrial engines, such as the Andrew Barclay small engines, a Pug. But I must point out it's only 040s, I believe, that they called Pugs if they were ugly. But most engines that they called Pugs, so ugly engines, I don't think are that ugly. So if you've seen you've probably seen it, my picture that I use, which should probably be there on your screen, the picture I use is of an Andrew Barclay 10-inch cylinder locomotive called Colin MacAndrew, and I believe they would have called that a Pug in Scotland, which is where it was built. I think Colin MacAndrew is the most beautiful engine ever made, but that's my opinion. So, the history. The London, Midland and Scottish, or the LMS Railway, gave the locomotives a power classification of a 0F. So yes, they were weak, to put it simply, but this engine is not weak, I'll tell you that now. In total, 57 were made between 1891 and 1910. This one, 51241, I found out, was one of the later built ones and was built in 1910. They were built to used in sharp corners, curves, whatever you want to call them, because look how small the wheelbase is. It is tiny. So this would have been used in docks, really tight shunting yards, collieries, that kind of thing. So yeah, they were just built for shunting duties. They weren't made to pull long trains over long distances. The Pugs were allocated by the, I always end up calling it for some reason, the London and Yorkshire, when it's not, it's the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, for operation in the industrial areas and docks of Fleetwood, Goole, Liverpool and Salford. I believe that's how you say the last one. In later times they became more widely dispersed, reaching places such as Bristol, Bangor, Crewe, is that Bangor? Yeah, Bangor, whatever. Crewe, Derby and Widnes, York and Swansea, sorry. When the LMS was merged into British Railways on the 1st of January 1948, 23 Pugs remained in service. The last was withdrawn in 1964. And there's only 2 left in preservation. I haven't seen one yet, and I really want to see one, because these are beautiful locomotives. Although many said they're ugly, since working down at Chasewater, being an industrial railway, I've just loved any industrial engine now. So this one's a good one. Now onto this locomotive, 51241. It was, the first number it got was 11241. That was allocated by the LMS. It is a London. It's a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Class 12. Oh, no, not 12. Sorry, 21. I will always call this a pug because that's what everyone seems to call it. But its official title is a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Class 21. So I might use the official term, or I might just use pug. I think I'm probably going to use pug the most. I might end up putting Lancashire and Yorkshire pug in brackets Class 21 brackets as the title, just so you can tell I know my stuff. Oh, its pre-grouping number was Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway 12, so its number was 12 apparently, according to this. But then it became 51241, I believe, probably in British Railways. What else? Its designer was Aspinall. Aspinall. I've never actually heard of that designer before, so if anyone knows any information on him, that'd be great to know. It was built on the 31st of May 1910. So it was built 6 days after my birthday. Builder was Horwich Works, which was Lancashire and Yorkshire, LMS and British Railways. And its shed code was 25C Ghoul for the whole of its life. Its disposal details were the 31st of January 1962, and it was disposed at Crewe Works. I didn't know any engines went to works to be dismantled. So 25C is Ghoul. I went to check, but its shed code plate, I guess you could call it, is blank. So anyway, let's go on to the detail of the locomotive while it's zoomed in. So with such a small model, there's very little that you can actually do, as it being so fine, and normally industrial engines would normally be quite basic. So basic tank, boiler, quite a big cab. Well, it'd probably be normal size, it's just it looks big compared to the rest of the loco. Little works plate, the number, handrails, lamp irons, no, lamp hooks, that's what I normally end up calling them. But for giving Dapol, which is who made this model, they've done a really good job, because you've even got the little fine piping, sanders, even a handbrake just there, which I thought was really nice. They've done a really good job on this, and I mean they could have just left the finer details out, like I believe that's the reverser lever there, and even the little handle on the toolbox, normally what it was. I believe that's either to do with the suspension. They've really gone, well, I'd like to say all out on this model. Even have some piping at the front, which might be to do with brakes, I don't know, there. You have a wire, separately fitted handrail going all along, rivets, and a really crisp, well, before I ruined it, a really crisp British Railways early crest emblem. I really wanted to get one in late crest, but I'm thinking about painting over that and putting Ward Junction, and then painting over that and putting number 1 on. Like I said, piping. Really shiny linkage. Done really well, and they've even got the, I guess you could say, cover over it. I mean, like I said, with it being such a small model, there's very little that you can do with putting the where you put the motor. So it looks like it's ended up in the cab, which kind of ruins the model for me. I mean, you could put, I guess, plastic slats there just to try and cover it up, and have a guy in there try and cover up the wires. As I said, lamp hooks. A coupling, a tension lock that's gone rusty. A non-painted buffer beam. On Hornby's later ones, they have painted buffer beams. I think they might have stayed black on some of them, I don't know. Well, that could have just been Dapol being a bit lazy. Separately fitted handrails on the side as well. Steps. I believe the handbrakes. Yeah, the handbrakes separately fitted. What I don't get is they've got this slat on this side, but not on this side. I think that really does disguise the motor more. If you could get rid of the wires somehow. Then you have these two little holes, or probably might have a piping coming out of them. On the roof, I don't know what that's for. A whistle. Those might be safety valves, I think. Works plate again, which has LMS something. Ah, see, that's better. As you can see, very crisp. Focus. We've gone into the dead zone. I don't know what it says. Once again on the front, 51241, and there's rivets all over this engine. But I guess being an industrial engine, it would have been very basically made. Even sanders there. I believe they might have used this as the shell for the modern Hornby Pug. And I know James, who runs James Simpson channel, pretty obvious, really likes the Pugs, and he's changed the buffers on his to DMU buffers. And I think he's changed that to British Railways. I might change the buffers on mine. I think these are dumb buffers. I might change mine to proper wood and paint the buffer beam. And then, like I said, Ward Junction #1. Right, so I know what you want to do. You want me to run this engine, and I will happily do that for you. Dun dun dun. So it seems there's something on the outer line. Don't worry, it's not a new loco, it's just the 45XX. But I'm going to keep this on the outer line and move it over to the station so it doesn't block the view. And put the Pug on the first radius so you can see how well it handles tight curves, which helps with mine considering I only have second and first radius. Oh, come on. The track's quite dirty, I must say. You'll just see the 45XX go around. No, not XX, 75. Sorry, I did get shouted at last time I said that. There we go. Right. Here it is, little Pug. And you can see it's almost the same size as Bachmann's trucks, like the standard wagons you get. So if I just move that around to there. Oops, yeah, I forgot about that. So we'll put it there, just so it looks like it's going into the track there. I think the motor might need an oil, I don't know. But as you can see, it's a bit jerky. It's not matching up. There we go. And you can see it's an incredibly small engine. And they'll give it the power classification of a 0F, but I really don't believe that with this model. So as you can see, it's very smooth and slow. It has this weird grindy noise. I know it should really be an LMS brake van, or at least a BR brake van, but that's the consist I normally have set up on the layout. So. There it is at the station, just passing the 4575. The track's quite dirty, so I don't know how it's going to fare. So for such a little engine, this really can't be a 0F, pulling all this. And I've tried to keep the industrial theme going, so I've got 2 industrial, five industrial trucks, 1 Southern Rail truck, and the rest are mineral wagons and a brake van, just to try and keep the industrial theme going. So I'll start doing my artistic shots. Please enjoy. The Lancashire and Yorkshire Class 21 Pug. Do I recommend it? Well, this one I definitely do. This one is a Dapol one, so you'll have to probably look on eBay or at exhibitions to find it. But this one's a very good model, although not everything's painted, and I'm guessing it's quite a basic motor, but it seems to be able to pull quite a lot. It's a very good model. For the price, well, my family member who bought it me got it for, so I think I said it was £23. But any of the new models that you can get of it, like the Hornby one, that probably is just as good a model, if not better, as it's probably a more refined motor. But I think it's still in the cab, so you might as well just get this one. I know Dapol also do kits, but that means you're going to have to buy the motor separately, and I think the kits can range anywhere from, I think, about £9 to £20. Sorry, I keep saying I believe Airfix did a model of this, I don't know. But anyway, so I might as well show you it going forwards and backwards light engine, as I haven't really shown you that. There you go. As you can see, it's a bit stuttery. It's a very slow runner as well. It doesn't run very well forwards, so I normally end up either having it with a train, because it seems to be able to push trains fine. Like really, well, quite smooth. Oh, the points killed it. It doesn't normally do that. And then backward. See, when it has a train, it has this grindy noise in the motor. But either way, I really like this model. So, I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you'd like to know anything about this model, or I guess any of the trucks, or rolling stock should I say, or even the 4575, leave a comment down below. I hope, I've already said this, but I hope you enjoyed the review, and the next review coming up will be of the J53 or the J13, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, bye.